Hi, everyone. Rusty here at Meteo Mundo. It is Friday, March 22nd. Wanted to come to you here and give you an update on what's happening across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. I am remote today. I am on a trip, but I didn't want to leave everyone hanging. Certainly wanted to get into what's happening in the Bahamas with the opportunity for some strong to severe storms. So you're taking a look at what's happening right now live. We do have this squall storm system moving across southern Florida right now. This is going to bring some wet, squally, stormy weather to the northwest Bahamas beginning later tonight and then throughout the day for tomorrow. There's still the opportunity for some strong to severe storms. I think that the higher end severe threat is probably not going to be there. And although the tornado and waterspout threat is very low, it's also not zero. I think this is just going to be very wet, very stormy weather that could lead to some very high rainfall totals across the area to go along with some very windy conditions. So again, you're looking at the live radar right now. I'm going to put on the very high resolution HER model here, and we're going to time this out. So again, we've already had some rain move across the Bahamas already today, but it's going to get stormier as we go through late tonight and tomorrow. And by the way, I've got the rest of the Caribbean forecast coming up, I promise you as well, but I wanted to get into, really what's going to be happening for our friends in the Bahamas here. So again, you're looking at that high resolution model, and we'll get into the Turks and Caicos as well. So you can see the squall line coming off, and it's going to have some wind energy. It's going to have some punch to it, and it's also going to be kind of setting up an east to west orientation for the opportunity for some of that heavier rain activity. So you can see I'm stair-stepping the model out. We're going to mainly stay dry through the afternoon hours. Could be a few showers ahead of the main line, but as we get into tomorrow morning, look at that squall line coming in. There's going to be heavy rain. There's going to be thunder and lightning, and there's going to be some winds of 20 to 30 knots. And that squall line should hold together throughout the entire northwest Bahamas, most of the central Bahamas, and really not beginning to break apart until it gets into the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and the Caicos as well. So a very rough late Friday, but especially throughout the day on Saturday. Boaters, your window of opportunity is closing. We're going to see some very strong winds there. Now, I want to look at the lightning. This is actually one of the future products I can show you here on our weather computer. This is the lightning coming in, and I wanted to show you this because, again, the model is picking up on the leading edge of this squall line. We're going to have some pretty good lightning activity for places like Grand Bahama and Abaco and New Providence and Eleuthera and Andros. So very stormy weather, very late tonight throughout tomorrow morning. And then the heavy rain kind of sets up the remainder of Saturday. It's just going to be a very wet, squally day with northwest winds, 20 to 30 knots in many locations. But again, there will be some lightning associated with this to go along with the heavier rain as well. So now I'm switching over to the wind product here. And just to kind of note the kind of winds that I expect us to see again, I think they're easily going to be 20 to 30 knots. Already this morning, Nassau reported a 33 mile an hour wind gust, way ahead of the leading edge of this squall line. So let's kind of break down here as we're looking at the winds. And anywhere that you see the whites, by the way, in this product, those are going to be winds of over 30 knots. And that opportunity to see those winds throughout the majority of the Bahamas will come along with what I expect us to see here over the next, let's say, 24 to 36 hours. Now, even on Sunday, it's going to be quite windy as well. Obviously, behind the front, again, those are going to be mainly northwest winds. So as I put on the total precipitation expected for this event, I want to kind of go over everything again for the Bahamas. For my friends in the Northwest Bahamas, including Grand Bahama and New Providence, 4 to 6 inches of rain locally, potentially even up to 8 inches of rain. Notice that these bands are setting up east to west. Guess which islands are oriented east to west? Grand Bahama and New Providence. Doesn't mean that there won't be heavier rain for Walker's Key and Andros and Abaco and Eleuthera, but you can see, again, you're looking at some spots here in Grand Bahama well over 4 inches of rain, but locally potentially up to 8. That's going to lead to some potential for some street flooding and obviously some flooding and inundation of low-lying areas as well. For my friends in the central Bahamas, it's going to be about 2 to 4 inches of rain. Still could lead to some localized flooding and street flooding. And then for the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, it's 1 to 2. But again, you can see I'm scanning around right now, and you're going to see some pockets of heavier rain. And it's just very area dependent. But I think everyone in the Northwest Bahamas gets at least 2 inches of rain, but it's more like 4 to 6 in most spots with locally heavier totals. So this is going to be a very heavy rainmaker to go along with the squally, breezy conditions that go along with this as well. Just a lot of rain coming on board here. And some of that will probably still fall early on Sunday before it finally tapers off. So small craft should remain in port starting tonight through at least the day on Saturday. Still going to be very windy on Sunday. Now let's take a look at the rest of the Caribbean. I'm going to start off in the Turks and the Caicos. My friends in the Turks and the Caicos, you're going to avoid the worst weather. Doesn't mean you're not going to have a good push of wind coming in with this system, but you're not going to more than likely have the heavier rain where we're going to really watch out for flooding issues. Again, overall, Southeast Bahamas, all the Turks and Caicos, about 1 to 2 inches of rain could come in bursts, especially as we get late Saturday night and into Sunday. But overall, you're looking pretty good as far as having to avoid the worst weather. Still going to be very breezy conditions, certainly going to kick up surf and sea conditions for the weekend ahead as well. But you can see the model takes that heaviest rain and keeps it just north and east of the island. So the weather gets better the further southeast that you go. Okay, let's get into the forecast for the rest of the Caribbean. And as we do so, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like for the video. I'm on a trip, but I had to come in and talk to you guys. So I appreciate the likes. If you're not a subscriber, you want the latest forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, click that subscribe button to Meteo Mundo right now. For the Leeward Islands, what you see is what you get. We've had relatively dry, fairly hot and breezy conditions, and that will continue. Spotty rain over the next 5 days for places like Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis. I haven't seen any huge issues with high surf or swells, but just keep an eye out for that as well. My friends in Puerto Rico, spotty rain. We could see some evening rain beginning back up late Sunday and into Monday. That includes the Virgin Islands as well. Now, for Hispaniola, including the Dominican Republic, one of the areas that actually could catch some showers out of this system moving in as the winds try and turn out of the north into the east. So for Santo Domingo and Santiago de los Caballeros, you could get a few showers here over the next 2 days. Hey, Jamaica, you've got some rain the last couple of afternoons. That's great to see. That's great to hear. Let me know in the comment section below if you caught some of that, but you've had some rain. I don't expect a lot of showers for you, though, over at least the next couple of days. It's mainly dry through the weekend. Now, the Cayman Islands can actually catch a couple of showers out of this rain. It's going to be brief showers moving through as we get late Sunday and into Monday, but that opportunity is there for some quick passing showers in the Cayman Islands. Besides some light morning showers in coastal Belize for Belize City and San Pedro, most of Central America's coastline, including Honduras and Nicaragua, Guatemala, Belize, is dry up towards the Yucatan. They could catch a couple of spotty showers as well. But obviously, friends, all eyes over the next 36 hours are going to be what's happening in the Bahamas. Again, that storm system is still coming. It's going to really start to bring that heavier rain late tonight and then throughout the day on Saturday. Again, you can see looking at our live radar here, the showers and storms beginning to push into the area. So squally weather is already going to begin to pick up on this Friday afternoon here, and it's just going to go downhill as we get into the remainder of Friday, and then especially on Saturday. And that big slug of moisture is headed your way. Friends, thanks again for liking the video and subscribing. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.